Hello, and welcome to Saeed's self-evaluation for the technical writing class taught by Dr. Andrea. The first thing we would be discussing is the rhetoric outcomes that I've learned over the course of the class. The rhetoric includes the audience, culture, purpose, and ethics, and we would be talking about the reasons why we write documents with these four things in mind. The first thing we would be talking about is the reason why it is important to keep audiences in mind when designing or redesigning documents. Over the course of this class, I have had to redesign documents for CP2 and design a document in CP3, keeping audiences that the documents were being designed for in mind. For CP2, I had to consider people with a lower level understanding of the English language and people with visual impairments when redesigning the manual for Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. To do this, we employed using Google Translate, and we ensured that the images were also written in text. That solved the problem for most part. For CP3, the audience had to be considered when designing an email newsletter for an event center. The audience that was considered was people looking to get married because the center was mainly used for weddings. So to do this, we had to make the colors pop, and we had to ensure that there were incentives for people who book at the city event center. This is what the final version of the section of the manual we redesigned looks like. This was also on the far right of the previous slide and is not so important. But in case you were curious like I will be, here you go. This is also on the right side of the previous. Now, let's move on to purpose and context. CP3 is a good example of where we considered purpose and context in designing a document. The rental agreements the event center had was too vague, and we came to the rescue by designing a new one that explained the terms more clearly. Understanding and being respectful to your audience is an important part of a successful document or presentation. The culture of the audience was taken into account when we translated documents in CP2 for non-native speakers of English to better understand as well. We needed to be careful nonetheless to ensure we didn't misrepresent facts in the original document. In this course, we solved problems as well. A good instance is when the event center in CP3 had no training documents. Our analysis prompted us to create one, and we came up with the perfect solution as shown on the next slide. On our journey to project completion, we divided tasks and made team members responsible for what they're good at. The biggest problem we faced was scheduling due to differing schedules. We normally came up with alternative methods to get the job done. On this slide, you get an overview of the technologies we used and why we chose them. In conclusion, I've explained how this class has made me an expert in technical design, group work, and technical writing. Thank you for watching.